This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. So, yesterday we have discussed about core components in Azure, right? Like we have started Azure data engineering and what exactly we are trying to learn in the further classes we have discussed, right? And how many roles are there in the cloud, especially in the Azure, and what are the cloud services, who are the cloud vendors, and these are the things yesterday we have discussed, and today we are going to talk about moreover about Azure, like how to create the free account and how to create the storage accounts and all. We are trying to discuss now. So I just start my class by giving some introduction on top of Azure. So first of all, everyone clear, right? What exactly we are trying to do? So the data, the source data which is available in the on premises, nothing but in our local machines. Okay, generally the clients they'll store the data in where the clients they'll store the data in the on premises. So everyone is trying to migrate from on premises to the cloud, and in the cloud if you want to migrate this data you need to store this data in some place, right? First of all, if you want to migrate this data from on premises to cloud, right? So here we are having around 5 GB of data, assume. Okay, so when you are copying the data from on premises to the cloud, nothing but here this is our source and this is our target. When you are copying the data from source to target, here also you need to place 5 GB, right? If you want to store 5 GB of data, then there should be some memory allocation should be there, right? So that is the reason we need to talk about storage accounts. Just 1 second. Hello. So, everyone able to hear me, or you are getting any distraction? Are you able to hear my voice properly, everyone? Is it fine for you, or do you want me to increase the volume more? Hello,
Yes, yes, we are
can
able
anyone
to hear you. Go ahead. Yes, yes,
able to
we are
hear?
able
Right?
to.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that's what. So here we need to store some data, right? If you want to store this data, we need to have some storage account. That's what we need to learn about different kinds of storage accounts available in the Azure. So once we need to understand this storage accounts, once it is done, how to process this data by making use of ETL process which is available in the Azure. That is nothing but the Azure Data Factory and Azure Data Bricks, right? So once the data is available inside the cloud, first of all we need to get the data from on premises outside into inside. Once the data is available inside the cloud, then we can do the ETL process by making use of Azure Data Factory and Azure Data Bricks. And once the data has been transformed, then we are storing the finalized data into some data warehouse tables. That is nothing but the OLAP database. Okay, so we are having mainly two types of databases. One is OLTP and another one is OLAP. OLTP database is used to store present data, whereas OLAP database is used to store historical data, right? So and OLTP databases are nothing but the source system databases. These we are considering it as OLTP databases. It is having very less memory to store the data, but here it is having huge memory to store the data. Here we are having here we are storing current data, where here we are storing historical data. Means suppose if we are storing 1 year data here in the OLTP, whereas in the OLAP we are storing around 10 years of data, like that historical data will be maintaining. And we are calling OLTP databases as source systems, and OLAP databases as target systems. But as I told you yesterday, we are not using any third-party tools. Our Azure itself is having our own OLAP machine, that is nothing but Azure Synapse. Azure Synapse DWH data warehouse machines. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about this entire cloud, how to, first of all, if you want to create the storage accounts, if you want to store the data, we need to have one cloud account. We need to have one cloud account. Then only we can log in by making use of that username and password, and we can enter into cloud, and we can create the storage accounts, and we can store the data. And once the data is available in the storage account, then we can process the data on top of it by making use of ADF and ADB. Then we can load the final data into data warehouse. From there, the reporting developers will come into picture. They will take the data from here. They'll do the reporting. Clear, right? So here, by making how to copy this data from here to here means, that is also we'll be doing by making use of ADF. ADF Azure Data Factory will be mainly useful to do two things. One is to ingest the data as well as to on the data. Okay. So ingesting the data means what? Blindly copying the data from one place to another place. Nothing but if you are having 5 records, same 5 records has been copied. We are ingesting the data by making use of ADF. And in the ADF, what we are creating? We are creating in the ADF and the terminologies pipelines. And suppose you are having five columns, and while ingesting the data, you are transforming the data and loading. Nothing but, suppose here we are having salary column, and while loading the data, we are loading salary column as well as annual salary column. Nothing but salary into 12. Okay. So everyone able to hear me properly, right? Okay. So that's what we are trying to do. So for that, see, just let me know one thing. If you want to send an email, if you want to send any email, so what we'll do first, suppose if you want to send a email to me, okay, what needs to be done, what we need to have, first of all, anyone, if you want to send an email, what needs to have, we need to create one Gmail account, right? First of all, everyone should have one Gmail account, so that then only we can log in inside the Gmail and we can send an email. Okay. Without having Gmail account, we cannot send any email, right? That is nothing but the cloud. First of all, if you want to enter into the cloud, you need to create one you need to create one Azure free account. Once it is done, you need to log in, then we can utilize these services. Okay. So um, that's all today's class. Will start the today's class. Yesterday we have discussed all these things. So today I'm going to talk about, so this is mandatory step. Why? Because without having free account, we cannot practice the classes as well. Okay. So how to create how to create Azure free how to create Azure free account, we need to see today. And one more thing, whenever you are choosing this cloud service and as a Azure, Microsoft Azure, which is a product of Microsoft, right? There are across the globe, we are having three cloud vendors, moreover competing with each other. So main we are learning here Microsoft product, that is nothing but the Azure. So whenever you are trying to learn Azure, or whenever you want to utilize the services of Azure, Microsoft is providing by default 30 days of free trial. Okay. 30 days of free trial they are providing. So you can create a free account and you can utilize that free account for 30 days. Okay. For that, we need to have two steps needs to be involved here, and we need to implement that two steps, then only we can able to create. We need to have one email account. Okay. What is the first step? We need to have one email account. Either it is a Gmail, either it is a Gmail account or Hotmail or Yahoo or Outlook, okay, etc. Anything. Okay. First of all, we need to have one email account. Once we have any one email account, and in my class, I'm going to teach. Yes, sorry. In my class, I'm going to teach MS account, MS mail, MS account, nothing but Microsoft Gmail account. How to create? I'll show you. Once any email account has been created, then we need to register that email with. We need to register that email with Azure. For you need to register that email with Azure account. Clear? So these are the only two steps we need to do. Once it is done, we will be getting one free trial account. And once the free trial is done, then what you need to do? Again, you need to create one more email account, new email account, and a new mobile number you need to provide. And again, 30 days free trial you need to take. Okay. So this is the steps today we are going to do. And before going to this, I just want to let you know one more thing. What is the main differences between on premises and cloud? Okay, what is the main differences between on-premises and cloud, and why everyone is choosing the cloud these days? And yesterday we have seen, right, a number of examples. Like suppose whenever you are doing the data, whenever you are doing some kind of business analysis reports you are doing. So first of all, we need to install all these softwares. We need to install, if your database is Oracle database, then we need to install Oracle databases. And if you are using ETL as Informatica, then install Informatica softwares and reporting tools we need to install. For that, we need to have some infrastructure. Some laptops should be available there. We need to have some configuration. In that operating systems, we need to take care. Configurations, network, security, we need to take care. Once everything is done, then we can install, then we can utilize the services, right? But here in the cloud, there is no need of installing any softwares. Just we are utilizing whatever it is available. All the services they have provided, just we are utilizing it. And one more thing, Microsoft is providing around 200 plus services. Okay, Microsoft is providing around 200 plus services. Okay, so everyone, whatever your requirement, everyone will have some solution in the Microsoft Azure. 200 plus services, mostly in the real time, or main companies, main big franchises like National Australia Bank or Walmart. These all are the clients also. Mostly they can use up to 15 to 20 services. That's it. Okay, what more than that? Not more than that. Clear, right? Not more than that. 200 plus services we are having. In that only we can use. But most of the clients like Walmart and all, they are using around 20 plus services only. So, and also one more thing, compared to this AWS and Azure, AWS is more complex compared to this Azure. Azure is having more user interface. Like suppose whenever anyone wants to do some creation of tables and all, the first thing what we'll use WordPad, right? So Word is also some kind of a tool which is provided by the Microsoft. Okay, so if you want to create a table, just you can create a table with minimum of learning this technologies. Like see, here they are providing all the options. Like suppose if you want to insert the shapes, okay, or if you want to provide some pictures, everything they are giving. Okay, you no need to worry anything. Just you can log into this word and you can utilize n number of user friendly options they are providing. Based on the users requirements, they have designed this. Like that, if you want to send an email in the office, we are using Outlook. If you want to interact with the colleagues in the office, you are using Microsoft Teams, right? So most of the times clients are interested to use, they are very much interested to use Microsoft. Why? Because it is very user friendly. And also the cloud is like, okay, the cloud methodology is pay as you go methodology. Okay, so if you want to implement this kind of project to create these kind of reports in the on premises. What exactly we are doing? We are just uh, we are just taking some configurations, we are just building some infrastructure. On top of that only we are spending some money. Suppose assume to complete this project we assumed around 5000 GB is required to complete this project, but when you completed this project you have used only 3000 GB, up to 3000 GB only have used. So 2000 GB is unnecessarily you have spent, right? Because we cannot predict, okay, how much GB we are using at the end of the day. But we have assumed that 5000 GB will be used, but at the end of the day we have used 3000 GB only. So but here in the cloud there is no need of wasting any memory or wasting any money. Why? Because suppose today you have used 1000 GB, okay, then you are paying up to 1000 GB only. The next month you are using another 1000 GB, then you are paying for up to that 1000 GB only. At the end of the project you have used only 4000 GB total, okay, 4000 GB total. Then you are paying up to this 4000 GB only, nothing but this is pay as you go methodology, right? Pay as you go methodology means whatever the services you are utilizing, for that only you are paying. That is nothing but the pay as you go methodology. Okay, we are not wasting any money, like we are not wasting any memory and all. Just see, it is very simple words like 1000 GB, 2000 GB, something like that. You cannot make any difference, but in the real time there are crores of rupees will be benefit for them if they are using the cloud, they are migrating into the cloud. Okay, that many advantages are there. Clear, right, everyone? Clear, everyone? So, and one more thing, while storing the data in the cloud, see, cloud means what? Where it is storing the data, it also needs to store the data physically only, right? Because here we are having 5 GB, it is storing internally memory, right? But here in the cloud, where it is storing exactly? In the cloud also, it should be stored in some physical place, that we are calling it as data centers. Okay, data centers, where the cloud is interacting with them and it is getting the data and it is processing. Okay, the data center is a place where we are having a number of services, racks, systems, okay, servers will be there, and it is up and running each and every day 365 days. Okay, each and every day 365 days. Suppose if you go here, data centers. See, these are the places they Microsoft, like Microsoft, they'll store the data. Like these kind of data centers will be there. There they are having a number of servers, a number of racks will be there. So there is no downtime. The continuously it is up and running. You can see upcoming Amazon data center. Like these are some kind of data centers which is related to Microsoft, Azure, and GCP. They are maintaining a number of high-end clusters, servers, racks they'll maintain, so that the application will not be down at any time. Okay, the application will not be down at any time, and the applications are continuously up and running 24 by 7, 365 days. Clear? Any doubts till now? Any doubts? You can ask me, or else we can continue our class. Yeah, okay, sorry, someone is asking question. Programming knowledge like Java, no, not at all required. There is no need of any programming language, okay, and any programming languages like required like Java, Python, not Java. I'll explain you like why you're asking this question. I'll explain you because see, there are mainly how many types of cloud, how many types of ETL process which we are using inside the cloud. I discussed you with you, right? ADF and ADB, right? So these two ETL process which we are using inside the cloud, one is ADF and one is ADB. Okay? In the ADF, here we are doing what? Here we are doing ETL process. ETL process means we are extracting the data, we are transforming the data, and we are loading the data. It is kind of a drag and drop tool. kind of a drag and drop tool. Whatever you want to do by making use of, yeah, ADF, it is simple. All the activities they have provided, all the activities, all the transformations they have provided in build. Just you need to drag and drop, and you need to uh, complete your requirement. Okay. And coming to ADB, it is also doing at the end of the day ETL process only, but there are some complex requirements will be there, or there are some customization will be there, which we cannot perform through ADF sometimes. Okay, most of the times we can achieve through ADF, but sometimes we cannot do some kind of a complex or customization requirements, because whatever it is there inside the ADF, we are restricted to use that one only. Like suppose any transformations available, we need to use inside the transformations only. Other than that, we cannot use. Any activities are available in the ADF, we need to inside, we need to use whatever available activities in the ADF only. We cannot go out of the box. But whereas in the ADB, if you want to, if you want to complete some kind of a complex requirements, by making use of ADB we can do, because ADB we can write some kind of programmings also. Means it is a compatible with the programmability. It is compatible with programmability. Nothing but, so sometimes we need to do some customizations in the sense, suppose there is some, whenever we are opening one notepad. Okay, whenever we are opening one notepad, everyone will get like this only, right? Untitled notepad. Okay, anyone is opening notepad will get like this. So if you want to customize this, means whenever I am opening any notepad, okay, whenever I am opening any notepad, that I don't want to see this untitled. Today I'm opening this notepad, right? I need to get today's date, like 17th 02 2003. Okay, I need to get the date. So if you, these are nothing but the customizations. If you want to do this customization, means customizing the data whatever already available. So these kind of things we can achieve through programming languages only, right? So we need to get the source code of this notepad, and we need to change wherever we are getting untitled. We need to remove that, and we need to put the current date function, so that whenever you are opening notepad, it will just show the current date. Okay, this kind of, like, this kind of customizations or complex requirements we can achieve through ADB only. Why? Because inbuilt ADB is providing some kind of a programmability features. Like we can write, if you are familiar with the Python, you can write Python code. If you are familiar with the Scala, you can write Scala code. If you are familiar with R language also, you can write ADB. Okay, in the ADF we are creating what? ADF we are creating pipelines. The terminology is ADF we are creating pipelines, and ADB we are creating notebooks. Okay, so someone is asking, right? Do we need to learn any programming language like Python, Scala, or like a Python? Not at all required. Why? Because if you want to create a Azure Databricks notebooks, you need to learn at least Python, Scala, or R. If you are not interested to go for the programming languages, then by making use of SQL also, you can write the notebooks, and whatever you are achieving through these three languages, 100% you can achieve through SQL also. Okay, so that is the reason yesterday's class I explained you what is the prerequisite. The prerequisite is the basic of SQL should be required. Okay, no need to learn this Python, Scala, R. Okay, just you have some basic knowledge on SQL, that is enough. And not basic, if you are a good at SQL, then you can write ADB notebooks very easily. Okay, no need to learn this programming languages, because ADB is supporting this kind of programming language like Python, Scala, R, and SQL. And SQL is not a programming language; it is a command-oriented language. Command-oriented language. Clear? So the answer is don't go for any like programming languages. Okay. Do we need any certifications to get the job on ADF? Not at all required. No need to do any certifications to get the job. But my suggestion is, no one will ask you whether you have completed the certifications or not. There are three types of certifications which we can do.